Hi guys, welcome to Conversations in the Cockpit. I'm here with Jeff. He also has his own YouTube channel called Cockpit Conversations.
That's right.
So we have very similar concepts, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like reverse, right? We just switched the words.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So let's get down to your aviation roots and your story. What was your first real, this is it, I'm going to be a pilot moment?
Yeah, I think, so my dad flew ultralights back in the day in our small town, grass strip stuff, and we built remote controlled airplanes. I don't know, I was born on an Air Force base, so maybe as a baby that something got put in my head around being a pilot. And always fascinated with it. We go to air shows, we've been to Oshkosh, I think I was telling you a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about Oshkosh the other day.
Yeah, and so so I started flying when I was 15, and it was $35 an hour to fly. And I was in high school, it was back in the Top Gun day. I had the motorcycle, had the Kawasaki Ninja, I had the convertible, I had the leather jacket with all the patches. I was trying to be Tom Cruise, right? I had hair then.
Hell yeah.
I had the hair and had the Ray-Bans, and I was trying to be that guy. And so I got like 7 or 8 hours, this little podunk strip with Jim George. I don't know if you're still with us, Jim George. But Jim George was my flight instructor back in the day. And then I met a girl and decided that money was better spent on dates, and so I stopped flying. And then, but it never really left me. I always wanted to, I was going to go to the Air Force Academy. That didn't work out in high school. And then we moved here to Tidewater, Virginia, which we've got Langley Air Force Base. We've got Oceana. We've got Fort Eustis. It's like a 24-hour air show here. Now we've got 35s flying around, which is cool, but we got 22s, 18s, 16s, tons of helicopters, every helicopter. A little bit of everything. But what it did was it just kept reminding me. My first office in Newport News over here is right at the end of Langley runway, well, on the flight plan of the climb out of Langley. So I'd be sitting there all day long and seeing, well, at that time, I don't know what they had before the 22. But either way, it's 22s all day flying over, and I'm like, dadgummit. And so then, like in 2019, meanwhile, that's been a minute since I flew, right? Since 2019 from when I was 14, 15, I'm sorry. And
All good.
yeah, and so I saw this post on Instagram, and I don't remember which aviation influencer. It was a nice lady on there, and she posted something like, "Stop dreaming, go for it, man." And I'm like, you know what? The heck with that. So I went immediately online, found a flight school, shot him an email, and then soloed a couple months later. Then we had 3 kids in college. That was expensive.
Yeah.
So I soloed and then took time off, took like 2 years off, and then finally got back into it with my buddy Chris down there that you've met.
Yeah.
And got me across the finish line. And it's been great. Now I'm almost 300 hours, I'd say between 250 300.
For your instrument and commercial next.
Instrument, commercial, multi. I want to go all the way, but not be an cool airline pilot, but just be more of a charter guy. But I love it. I mean, it's opened up the world. I take my kids flying. I love the channel. Nice to meet cool people and hear their stories, as you know, and get people up in here and kind of a different setup.
And I feel like pilots are like a different kind of person too. So like it's really cool having conversations with other pilots.
Yeah, that's true. You know, outside of my flight instructors, you're the only pilot on a podcast I've ever talked to. So we can talk all kinds of crazy pilot stuff today if we want to. Because most people don't get it.
All the aviation stuff.
Yeah, but that's it. I love it. Plan on keeping going. So.
Would your younger self be shocked today to know that about your life as a pilot?
Yeah, my younger self would have thought I'd have gone Air Force and been a military guy and this, that, and the other, right? Because I remember working for my dad when he's a State Farm agent. And I told him I'd never work for State Farm, ever work for State Farm. And so I graduated college, graduated, and worked for State.
In your father's footsteps until you're put into your father's footsteps, and then you're like, oh, this is why. Right.
And so I think my early self would have been like, come on, man, you could have been flying jets. But then he'd have been like, no, man, you did it right. It worked out. It worked out. Great career, great family. You're flying now. Lighten up. Have a good time.
I mean, like, it doesn't matter when you start as long as you start.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can start being a pilot at like 30, 40, 50. Maybe not 60 because then you're like 15 years away from retirement. But
yeah.
You can start like later in life and still have an amazing career and amazing experiences and get to have like views like this.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes when I'm flying, I still have that like, holy shit, I'm a fucking pilot.
Yeah.
Like, this is so cool. I'm a pilot.
Yeah. We're up here. We up in this thing.
We up here. We're up to 3,500.
Right. Exactly right. That's awesome. Yeah.
So, how did the idea of cockpit combos come to you?
So I like to monetize is the wrong word, because in this case, it's definitely not a monetary deal, right? Let me say commercialize my passions might be the better way to do it.
Okay.
So, and when I was saying monetize my passions, like I was a gun dealer because I used to be in guns, so I could write that stuff off and have tax write-offs and all that business stuff.
They love those tax write-offs.
Exactly, love a good write-off. And so the YouTube thing came about professionally because now I was a pilot. In my prior role, I recruited a bunch of State Farm agents. That was my job. I was actually number one in the country a couple times recruiting. And I saw it as a platform, right? That nobody else is getting up in an airplane and talking about their career to come recruit talent to talk about State Farm.
True.
And so I got up there, I did that. I posted a video. It's got thousands of likes. And I'm no exaggeration, I still get 3 or 4 people a week text me, call me saying, hey, I saw your video. I want to talk about being a State Farm agent. Now that I'm a State Farm agent, I'm like, I'm not your guy, right? You're not the guy to talk to. But so what I used it as a commercial for myself or what I needed in business. And then it kind of transformed to, let me take my kids up. Now let me take my friends up. Well, heck, let me take my business associates up. And now it's kind of grown into a platform where I get people to talk about my philosophy is I want to get them to know the person before they know the product. Because if I know that you're a pilot or you enjoy the Commanders or whatever you're into, and I'm the same thing, it might draw more business to you. It might, give you a better opportunity. And they can use it to market and socialize and put it on their platforms too. So I don't know, it's not going to be a monetary thing for me, but it's just more of a thing I do want to leverage in now my own agency to kind of draw attention and get some business, right?
Yeah.
See what happens. Yeah, that's it. But I love it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, what about you? Why'd you start one?
So I started it, Conversations in the Cockpit has actually been like my brainchild for like the past 7 years, like ever since I got into aviation. Like I knew that I wanted to get more female pilots in the space, in the industry, that, and then also in light of like what's happening like in media nowadays with like all the fear mongering around aviation.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of like the general public does not know a lot about the industry, and that's because I feel like a lot of pilots are tight-lipped because of their corporate jobs. They can't really talk a lot about it, about like all the problems are in the aviation industry.
Right.
People are getting like a little bit more outspoken now, which is good. Like, like the whole like, you can't go see a therapist and disclose it to the FAA, but then you can also get your licenses taken away if you don't disclose it to the FAA. So there's like that little caveat. So
it is complicated.
Yes, it's very complicated, and it shouldn't be complicated because we're all people. We all have issues. So
yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so it's kind of like a way to like get through all the fear mongering. Like this is how it acts.
Right. Sure.
Media portrayal is not always correct.
Good stuff.
Any wild or unexpected behind the scenes moments while shooting?
I would say I'd love to sit here and say, yeah, man, there was this one time when an F-18 pulled up beside me and waved his wings or something. No, man, it's not
busted the airspace.
Yeah, busted into some airspace or. Yeah.
We can just clock 7,500 and have it happen right now.
Just to see what happens. Yeah, let's do that. No, I really don't. I did have some wacky stuff and happen, like my instruments kind of flashed on and off one time, and that kind of freaked me out, kind of that pucker up moment. But as you look around where we fly, hundreds of places to land a plane, right?
Oh yeah.
And in this area, as you know, the only thing I got to worry about is traffic or birds, and because there's plenty of places to land an airplane. So I've never actually really been scared. But if I'd say wild moments, I've never had anybody get sick. I've never had anybody. So no, but I haven't been flying a while. But I'd love to tell you, I've got some wild, crazy stories, right? Where we were getting something to somewhere. I do remember flying into Norfolk one time. This happens all the time, but my little slow plane cruising at 90 knots, 100 knots. Meanwhile,
they tell you to pick it up.
Right, they told me pick it up. Pick up the pace, man. Pick up the pace. I'm like, all right, And so,
we're going as fast as we can.
We're hurrying, man. We're hurrying. And so, but I only try to find those airspaces when it's like evenings or, when there's no traffic and stuff.
Yeah, less traffic.
Yeah. But what about you? I know you're interviewing me, but you got any crazy stories?
Well, this didn't happen while filming, but I had an alternator failure one time.
RIP.
Which, it wasn't too exciting. Like a little red light came on that indicated something. I pointed it out to an instructor, and then they're like, yeah, we should probably land.
Yeah.
And then as we were coming in on final, we told the tower controller that we might lose comms because we might lose electricity.
Wow.
So And then we just had to camp out at this airport overnight until somebody could pick us up in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So, but I got to install an alternator on an airplane, which was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I did, it wasn't crazy, wacky, scary, but me and my instructor, when we were doing slow flight back in the day, we were about 15 miles north, and we're in slow flight. So for y'all out there, for us, that's 50, 60 knots, right? It's not a lot, not really fast. Full flaps, and the flap stuck. And so we full flapped it all the way back home, man. It was a long day when you're doing slow flight, man. And it's just, you're just sitting there.
You can't really like turn that much.
Oh man. And so we're sitting there trying to get, it turns out a cable up in the ceiling had gotten pinched somewhere to allow the flaps to go up and down. But yeah, that's not scary, crazy, but there's definitely a problem.
No, that's just kind of more like an annoyance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I saw like a reel by an air traffic controller that says like this job is 90% boring, uneventful, like every day run of the mill kind of stuff. Like there's that 9% that's kind of like, oh my gosh, and then there's that 1% that's holy shit, that can happen.
Pucker moments, absolutely, and we don't want those. So yeah.
We try to avoid those as much as possible. Obviously, mitigate risk, but
Sure.
I mean, flying, I find it freeing and relaxing. So.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And like you said, like we're not falling out of the sky. Like there's plenty of places to land. So.
Yeah, I tell my passengers, listen, believe me, unless you hear me say, "Oh, explicative," we're good, right? If something bumping, flying, whatever. But here's the deal: I said I'm gonna fly this thing all the way to crash site. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna take it all the way down.
I will land this plane because I own it. So.
Right. Oh, that's true. You do own this. That's right. That's right.
How do you decide who to fly with or who to feature?
Yeah. So, here's the deal: if somebody's got the passion and they want to come up with me, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it, because it might ignite something in them from an aviation perspective. And here's the thing I've found in prior roles and in life in general. You know, my dad told me one time, he said, "Son, one of our jobs on this planet is to make people feel really good about where they are and what they're doing."
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying if you're some crazy drug addict, say, "Oh, that's awesome." I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you're doing something professionally, personally in their life, our job is to make you feel good and help them feel awesome. And so if you run ABC could be the most boring job in the world, but it's passionate to you, well, doggone, let's do it. Let's get passionate about it. And so for me right now, I'm still in the content building phase. I'd love to be so exclusive that if I, had somebody that, that's not really my channel or whatever. But no, for me, if you're wanting to come up with me, and I'm going to take you up. I don't care if I've never met you. Like in our case, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take you up. Now, I think the views and the likes and all that stuff will kind of dictate a lot too, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to be a loser on my page and things like that. But let me figure that. I'll have that problem when I have hundreds of people on my page. But right now I'm about 20 or 30, so I'm working on it. But yep. Of course, the more interesting, the more funny, the more views, the more reels, the more this.
Oh yeah, of course.
The more.
I'm just looking for traffic. There's somebody like 100, 200 above us.
Okay, so let's see where we at here.
I think it looks like they're avoiding us, so. Oh, it's got
They're there, traffic in sight. There we go.
Love that.
Cool, good job there, Captain.
I feel better when I got the traffic in sight, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm also not super picky. If you're interested in flying,
obviously,
I feel like that is the most important.
You got me on here, you're not picky at all. So that's good.
You're so funny.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, I've had like a few cases where like I've invited people to go flying, and then they just told me like, "Hey, I get anxious on commercial flights. I don't think I'll be comfortable in like a little single engine airplane." I still try to convince them, but I'm also not going to, like push them in the airplane, strap them down,
Oh, 100%.
all that kind of stuff.
100%.
I'm going to be like, are there any questions you want to ask me so that you feel more comfortable or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's also kind of it's helping me for when I become a flight instructor, because I have to be able to put my students at ease, like if there's like problems happening or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if they're a student, obviously they want to learn how to fly, but not everybody can get past that student to private pilot phase.
Yeah, you got to know your passenger. 2 of mine this week were first-time flyers.
Yeah.
Never been in a small plane before. And I'm not going to do whoop-de-doos with them, right? We're not going to do steep turns.
You're not gonna put the plane into spin or
Not gonna
anything
put it.
like
No,
that.
heck no, not gonna do that.
Reverse Cuban A,
You're
hammerhead.
correct. Let's do some chandelles. Let's see what we can do in this thing.
See, that would be a funny YouTube channel if you did something like that, asked rapid fire questions, and then did like an aerobatic maneuver.
Hey, don't give me any ideas. Can't do it in the Technum, but maybe something else. We'll see.
Yeah, like a Cetabre or something.
Yeah, cool.
I had a friend who had a Skybolt, and he taught me how to do reverse Cubanate in that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was the one who did it or if he was the one who was doing
Right.
it, but
Right. Steen Skybolt. Those are cool planes.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was a very cool plane, and like the paint job was like all like blue with stars and
sweet.
red tail, and it was beautiful.
Sweet. The Starburst Jam.
Who would be your dream cockpit guest?
Well, I would say Rebecca, but I just checked that box. So
that's done.
that box is checked. Let's see here. My dream cockpit convo. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I'm doing it for myself to try to get views or something, I'd have to pick somebody that's trending, right? I mean, somebody controversial, somebody's gonna, like a Trump or like a Biden or like somebody that's gonna cause somebody to get all fired up and look at the video, right? If I'm doing it for content.
Oh yeah.
But for myself, that's a great question. Who would I want to be up in a plane with? I don't know. I think Tom Cruise would be cool. I think, I think a Tom Cruise would be awesome. I mean, he was my hero back in the day. I wanted to be that guy, and still was a cool guy.
Yeah, ever since I found out Angelina Jolie also has her pilot's license, I've been wanting to take her flying.
There you go. You get a John Travolta. He's a big pilot. He has like 20 planes.
Oh my gosh, his house is beautiful. It's just all airplanes.
Yeah, and he flies like heavies and stuff too. He's like a real heavy pilot. But
it's so cool to like just have a Boeing, just to have a Boeing.
yeah, but I'd say this. It'd be cool to have like influencers like we talked about, like Bananas last night or something like that on the plane. And but usually our community is really cool people anyway. So, but I'll be honest, whoever I'm in the plane with, I'm having a great time with. To me, it's all the same. It doesn't. For me, it's about making the people I'm with happy, seeing them happy, seeing them smile, seeing them enjoy it. I don't really care who's in there as long as they're having fun, because that gives me joy and pleasure. And
heck yes.
If
you're not having fun, what are you doing?
If I'm not having fun, so I own a business. I'm a State Farm agent here in Tidewater, Virginia. Great BrittonInsurance.com. Shameless plug for you there. And so I'm a workaholic from the standpoint of I'm never satisfied. If I've got 10, I want 20. If I got 20, I want 30. If I got 30, I want 40. And so for me, I spend a ton of time on my business and in my business trying to grow it and do that type of thing. But I enjoy playing golf. I'm not that good, but I have a good time out there. I enjoy hunting. If it's in the fall, I'm going to be bow hunting. If it's in the spring, I'm going to be turkey hunting. And I got a new grandbaby, so I guess I got to trump all that. I got to back up the tape, right? Because what's the Sunday school answer is I got a brand new grandbaby, Addison. She's 6 weeks old, just beautiful. And so I really love holding her in my arms. When I'm holding her in my arms, the world it doesn't matter what's going on out there.
Everything just kind of like falls away.
Everything just falls away.
Yeah.
But with me, I like cars. I go to car shows. I like I don't know. My buddy says I'm the most interesting man in the world. I think he just hasn't met too many people. I think he hasn't met too many people yet. So
that's what I think when people say that about me. I'm like, you need to meet more pilots.
Yeah, you haven't been out much, have you? So, right. So, all right.
We'll do one last question and then we gotta pick up weather.
Word up.
If the Technum had a personality, how would you describe it?
Oh my gosh, I would say the Technum's probably like Snoopy. And what I mean by that, he's just average. He's just going to show up. He's going to do his thing. Everybody smiles at it when he comes. He's not going to get there fast. He's not going to say much.
He's going to give Woodstock some shit.
He's going to give Woodstock, absolutely. And some of those other planes in there might be the Woodstocks in our hangar. But I would just say probably Snoopy, just because it's just you can't say anything wrong about Snoopy, but he's also not the most dynamic person in the room either, right? So, but she gets me done, man. She gets it done for me. Fun times.
That's our favorite kind of training airplane, is the reliable ones.
Yeah.
The ones that are going to get you where you need to go with the hours. They're nothing fancy, but
100%.
They're reliable.
Exactly right. Cool.
All right. Awesome.
Awesome. Good job. Enjoyed it.